Please don't encourage him, because we don't want him to be the chair.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Tonight, the invocation and pledge is be led by Board Member John Butita. If everyone could please rise.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, support as we begin this meeting. We gather together with the intent of doing good work, and we seek to represent fairly and well those who have given us this task. May our efforts tonight be blessed with your insight, guided by your understanding and compassion for the dignity of every human from womb until death. Please, God, we ask you now watch over all those who defend our freedom and our public safety, shield them from harm, guide them from in all their pursuits. We also ask for the same for all our public employees of Winnebago County who serve us so well. As your trusted servants, we seek your blessings on our deliberations and on our efforts here tonight. May we act wisely.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Thompson, do we have any amendments to the agenda tonight?
No, not this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I'd like to introduce everybody to, this is Rebecca Manriquez from the clerk's office. She's going to be shadowing me tonight while I attend some training in August. She'll be replacing me. So please be sure to welcome Rebecca. Okay, we're going to start with Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Mr. Tassoni. Mr. Thompson.
Present.
Mr. Webster.
Here.
Mr. Arena.
There.
Mr. Booker.
Present.
Mr. Butita.
Here.
Mrs. Crosby. Ms. Fellers.
Present.
Mrs. Gorel. Mr. Guevara. Ms. Hansard. Mr. Hoffman. Mr. Lindmark. Mr. McCarthy. Mr. McDonald. Mr. Neighbors. Mr. Penny. Mr. Salgado. Mr. Scroll. Thank you all. Chairman, 17 board members present, 3 board members absent.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Tonight, we have no awards, presentations, public hearings, or public participation. Can I have a motion for an approval of the May 23rd, 2024 minutes and a layover the June 13th, 2024 minutes? Motion by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Neighbors. Is there any member opposed to the approval and layover the minutes? Clerk, please record an affirmative vote for everyone present. Appointments. We are reading in tonight the appoint. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. A motion for approval of the raffle report and orders report on the consent agenda. Ms. Crosby, second by Mr. Sweeney. Is there anyone opposed to these two items? Please record an affirmative vote for all those present. Okay. Moving on to appointments. Tonight we are reading in the Hulls Cemetery of Pecatonic Association, annual compensation none. Maggie Lannon, new appointment to serve a 6-year term expiring May 2030. With that, we move on to the reports of the standing committee. First up, finance.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, we have an ordinance for approval of a budget amendment for the Circuit Court mid-year adjustments, and I move for a suspension of rules on this.
Okay, so we have a motion for a suspension of the rules, second by Mr. Sweeney. Is there anyone present opposed to suspension of the rules? Seeing none, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present. Proceed.
Then I move for the approval of the ordinance, budget amendment for circuit court mid-year adjustments.
We have a motion. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Webster. Discussion? Seeing none. Does an ordinance require a roll call? Is there anyone present who is opposed to this ordinance? Seeing none, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present. You may proceed.
Okay, next we have a resolution authorizing settlement of a claim against the County of Winnebago entitled Gina Tarara versus Winnebago County, and I so move.
I have a motion. Can I have a second? Mr. Thompson, seconds. Discussion? Is there anyone present this evening who is opposed to this settlement? Seeing none, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present.
Okay, next we have a ordinance. This is old business, the next two, so.
Okay.
I'll just go-
Yeah, so moving on to the old business, go ahead.
So an ordinance for a budget amendment for the state's attorney's VOCA grant renewal, and I so move.
All right, we have a motion. Can I have a second?
Oh, I'm
Second by-
sorry. You know what, let me back up.
Okay.
No, that's right. These, because this is old business, so we don't need to suspend the rules. Yep, we're just,
Okay,
Okay,
second by
yeah.
Ms. Goro. Discussion. Seeing none, is anyone here this evening opposed to this ordinance? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present.
and then another ordinance from old business, budget amendment for bond-paying agent fees, and I so move.
I have a motion. Can I have a second? Second by Mr. Hoffman. Discussion. Seeing none, is there anyone present this evening who is opposed to this ordinance? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present.
That completes our report.
Thank you, Mr. Butita. Next, we have zoning.
Thank you. Zoning Committee has 4 items on the agenda this evening, 3 items. We have TA 0124, that's an ordinance amending the Unified Development Ordinance. I want to read in number 2, SU 0424 is a special use permit. And number 3, Z 0324 is a map amendment. It's the first reading on those.
Mr. Booker.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to suspend the rules on that amendment.
So,
On which one?
On item 3?
item 2.
To the Seward Ag.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
That's
number
3.
3. Sorry to confuse you. Motion to suspend on number 3.
That's fine. All right, so we have a motion to suspend on item number 3. Can I have a second? Second by Mr. Penny. Are there any members present who are opposed to suspension of the rules? Seeing none, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present. Please proceed.
And the others will be laid over to our next meeting. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, we're going to vote on it.
so we have this, the rules are suspended, so now discussion.
No.
Oh, we didn't, I'm sorry.
Then I'll move on number 3.
Okay, motion to approve. Can I have a second to approve? Second by Mr. Neighbors. Discussion.
Who did the second?
Mr. Neighbors, second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Is there any discussion on this item? Okay, seeing none, are there any members present who are opposed to this map amendment? Seeing none, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present.
Thank you. That's all, folks.
Next up, economic development. Mr. Sweeney,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have no report tonight.
thank you. Operations, Mr. McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have 3 items for this evening. The first is a resolution awarding lower-level roof replacement at Juvenile Justice Center using CIP PSST funds, and I so move.
Have a motion. Can I have a second? Second by Mr. Lindmark. Discussion. Seeing none, are there any members present who are opposed to this resolution? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr.
Proceed.
Chairman. Our next item is a resolution awarding renewal for on-site wellness clinic services, and I so move.
We have a second by Ms. Hansard. The item's before us. Discussion. Seeing none, or anyone present opposed to this resolution? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our last item is an ordinance amending Section 2-88, appointments to commissions, boards, authorities, or special districts of the Winnebago County Code relating to the rules of procedure of the county board of the County of Winnebago, Illinois. And this is to be laid over, but I'd like to make a motion to suspend, please.
Okay, we have a motion to suspend. Can I have a second? Second by Mr. Lindmark. Are there any members present who are opposed to suspension of the rules? I believe we have to. Right, this is just on the suspension, but you will have an opportunity. Okay, so is there anyone present who is opposed to suspension of the rules? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would move to approve the ordinance.
All right, we have a motion to approve, second by Mr. Thompson.
I'll speak
Discussion.
to it for a moment.
Pardon me?
I'll speak to it for a moment, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
So what this ordinance does, originally we had said that any appointments we have laid over for 30 days. Well, that put it sometimes to the third board meeting after our first read-in. If you recall our last board meeting, we were approving some appointments that were first read in April. So this is just making it where the next board meeting, we do not take action, but the meeting after that, we can approve those appointments.
Okay,
Thank you. That's all I wanted. I was making sure this is what we were talking about.
Yep.
okay, thank you. And yes, Ms. Fellers.
How is this different than suspending the rules?
So we suspended the rules so that we could vote on it this evening.
No, I mean, how is this different than just suspending the rules on an appointment that we wanted to do earlier? How is this different?
Well, this would change, well, I'm sorry, you wanted.
If you'd like to answer, Mr. Chairman,
Well,
you can.
We're just changing our rules of procedure so that the standard practice will be the meeting, we skip
Every
a
other
meeting and then
meeting.
vote on it, whereas before it said 30 days, which was pushing it out to a third meeting.
Okay, that makes sense.
But you're right, we could have suspended rules to adjust that, but now this is just the standard practice.
Thank you.
Okay, with that being said, is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, is there any member present who is opposed to this ordinance? Okay, seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes the report.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Public Works Committee, Mr. Tassoni.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our first order of business, I'd like to go out of order here a little, but I would like to move to send items 3 and 6, which is Resolution 24-025 and Resolution 24-028. I would move to send those both back to committee, please.
Okay, do we need a second for it? Okay, we have a motion. Can I have a second? Second by Mrs. Crosby. Discussion? Mr. Salgado.
Your reason, Mr. Tassoni? Just
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, just on the first item, it's, the state would like, this is the retirement of a bond, they would just like it broken out principal to interest, and the second needs to have a little language cleaned up.
Okay. Okay, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, is anyone present this evening opposed to these items going back to committee? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present. You may proceed.
Thank you, Chairman. Our next item is Resolution 24-024, and it's a resolution authorizing an engineering services agreement with Willett Hoffman and Associates, Inc., to provide structural engineering services for the Meridian Road Bridge over the Pecatonica River and for appropriation of motor fuel taxes, and I would so move.
We have a motion. Can I have a second? Second by Mr. Webster. Discussion.
Chairman?
Go ahead.
I would just add that this is for Phase 1 and 2 engineering to, for the reconstruction, resurfacing of Meridian Road Bridge. It's the first step towards that direction.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Are there, Mr. Webster?
Yeah, I wanted to note here that sheet that was left on your desks, this indicates that Congressman Darren LaHood is coming up at $1.2 million for us, and it's going towards that Meridian Road Bridge. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Webster. Yes, and thank you for pointing that out. And we will touch on this document when we get to the Legislative and Lobbying Committee, but this is good news for the county. So, any further discussion on this item? Are there any members present this evening who are opposed? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present. Proceed.
Thank you, Chairman. Our next item is Resolution 24-026, and it's a resolution authorizing a professional engineering services agreement with Willett Hoffman and Associates to provide plans and specifications for the elevated water storage tank improvements at Winnebago County Water. And I'd so move.
I have a motion. Can I have a second? Second by Mr. Webster. Discussion. Okay. Seeing none. Are any members present opposed to this item? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chairman. Next item, Resolution 24-027, is a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental cooperation agreement for railway highway grade crossing improvements on Roscoe Road. I'd so move.
We have a motion. Can I have a second? Mr. Lindmark. The item is before us. Discussion. Okay. Seeing none, are there any members present who are opposed to this item? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present. Please proceed.
Thank you. Our final resolution is 24-029, and it's a resolution authorizing the award of bid for Perryville Path resurfacing from Harlem Road to Hart Road, and I would so move.
We have a motion. Can I have a second by Mr. Penny? The item is before us. Discussion. I have a question. Is this work already in progress?
But,
Is this-
no, I don't believe so. No.
No? Okay. So the path that's being constructed, Mr. Molina, can you answer that?
No, move to a microphone.
No, you need to please speak in the mic.
Yeah, no, this is for an existing path that is about 24 years old. The section of the path that is under construction right now is further to the north.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any further discussion? Are there any members present who are opposed to this item? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes our report.
Thank you, Mr. Sony. Public Safety and Judiciary, Mr. Lindmark.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have two items this evening. The first one is a resolution authorizing the chairman of the county board to execute an intergovernmental agreement with Rockton Fire Protection District for fire and EMS dispatch services, and I so move.
I have a motion. Could I have a second? Second by Mr. Webster. The item is before us. Discussion. Seeing none, are there any members present who are opposed to this item? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present. Please proceed.
Our second resolution is authorizing the chairman of the county board to execute an agreement with the village of McChesney Park for police services, and I so move.
I have a motion. Can I have a second? Second by Mr. Booker. The item is before us. Discussion? Seeing none, are any members present opposed to this item? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present.
That concludes the report, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Lindmark. Legislative and Lobbying Committee, Mr. Salgado.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have no items for you tonight to be approved, but I will be reporting on a memo that everybody got on their desk. Just give you guys a brief update from this chair. Pretty much the Legislative Lobbying Committee and the faculty here administration has been working really hard on some of the initiatives. These are just some highlights. The first one, Senator Duckworth, and these are all congressional direct spending. Essentially, these are requisitions by these politicians or office holders to directly support some of these fundings for these specific projects, which is a win-win for us since they get a lot of requests, a lot of applications. So the first one is the PFAS, $1 million. There's a link that was emailed to you so you can check it out, get more specific information on what it relates, where the money's going, how it's gonna, help the community and so forth. So each one has a link to it. I recommend that everybody go out there, check their email. It should be in your inbox. Click on the link to find more information. So it's a win for us from a PFAS perspective on this one. Senator Duckworth has been a very good advocate for us in trying to work when it comes to energy dependence and, for our northern Illinois region and some of the things relating to PFAS and so forth. She's been very upfront for us and helping us with that. Second one, Senator Durbin. So funny story here is we were in DC about a month ago. The biggest reason why we went out there is to try to work for the landfill with Monarch CO2 capture, convert it into aviation fuel, send it, and obviously that would go to support the purchaser. We would have our two clients, UPS, FedEx, and obviously Amazon. They're willing to take all the barrels that possibly come out of that. So we're trying to get Monarch to be, obviously come to, the landfill so they can, it's been in the newspaper. We've been trying to do this. So we were out there in DC. So Senator Durbin, we met with them. And one of the things is we asked him, what about this water main extension? And he's like, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna, get it through, but I'll look into it. So it didn't look promising, but we had good conversations, great conversations. And then we get this email from obviously his staffers saying, hey, we put it in. So this is another win for us from this perspective. Now, that does not mean, just to be clarity, that we're gonna get the money, but it's the probability is high. Anything can happen in Congress where they say, you know what, this bill, we're gonna strip all the funding that everybody, requested. So, but it is very probable that we will get this money if everything goes forward. So the good thing is with this lobbyist and Mercury and, Phelps and Berry, we're having these conversations with them directly, right? And getting face-to-face time to actually get some of these initiatives going forward. So it's been very fruitful for us, not only for administration doing all the hard work, putting in the award letters. We're getting letters from senators, congressmen, and so forth. So just wanted to highlight that. The last one, Congressman Darren LaHood, 1.2 million. We went into his office. He said, yep, we're going to move forward on that. Both of these individuals, all these three individuals we met, and Sorensen as well, we're trying to get legislation changing at a federal level through the IRS when it comes to tax credits for Monarch to qualify for the alternative energy credits that we need. Obviously, Monarch wants to build a solar farm. They're going to get some credits for that, but they need additional energy to capture the CO2 and convert it to aviation fuel, meaning that they're going to have to tap into the nuclear Byron plant, but that does not qualify for credits. So we're trying to change legislation because there's other states like Colorado and so forth, California, that are high advanced in energy, that they would miss out on these opportunities. And so we're pushing our Congress, our senators to change some of the legislation there at the IRS level. So it's very complex, very difficult. We're trying to maneuver all these different things, but it's very beneficial when we have a lobbyist that can open the door to us and have that connection. So just wanted to bring that up as well. You notice Mr. Durbin was here, Senator Durbin and Congressman Sorensen were here for the training facility for the Sheriff's Department. They were very vital on that, $800,000 on that aspect of it. So there's good wins for us, and I just want everybody to appreciate that, understand, and lobbyists and administration staff are doing a lot of the legwork that you guys may not hear or see, but I just wanted this memo to be presented. We were trying to have a meeting last week, but I've been in travel, and then the chairman was on travel as well. He went to Atlanta, so there was no coordination, so we decided to put this out there. One other thing is TFG is renewal contracts coming up. We are having a meeting probably July 15th, legislative, just so everybody's aware on that perspective. So I just wanted to keep everybody at breath. We were in DC, we had good conversations. A lot of this stuff that you see here is coming from those relationships that we have with them. So just wanted to give you a brief review on that and just, you know, congratulate the administration staff because they're the ones that are digging into this day in, day out. And we're just, you know, receiving all the good news. So just wanted to give a report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salgado. Are there any questions for Mr. Salgado on these issues? Mr. Sweeney.
Well, I have a question about the Senator Durbin's earmark on the water main extension for Phase 2, and maybe Mr. Molina is the best person to answer this, but whoever is best fit. Can there just be a brief description of exactly what Phase 2 is as defined? I've been told it's a loop back of water, but just maybe a little bit better explanation of what that is, and does it cover the entire cost of Phase 2?
Are you, who's best suited to answer that question? Mr. Molina?
I can talk to it too, but.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for the question. The actual extension of the water main, to bring it back, you know, to loop it back, it will be in the neighborhood of about $5 million. We understood that this allotment or earmark was for about $1 million. So what we're doing is the current phase of the construction, you know, the one that is being done right now, is going to go across I-39 up to Harrisville Road, and that's where it stops. So this new extension will take you north along Harrisville Road, hopefully all the way up to Rotary Road, and that's what about $1 million will get you to.
Thank you.
Was there anything you wanted to add to that, Mr.
No,
Salgado?
that's exactly what's the intention for this, but good stuff.
Okay. Any other questions? So I also would like to congratulate you and Chairman Shirelli on your leadership and all of the people who have been involved in making this happen. I think that this is new since my time on the county, that we've had this type of legislative success and been bringing in outside money, which is greatly needed for, you know, things that move the county forward. So thank you for your work on all this. Okay. That concludes the committee reports. Under unfinished business, appointments read in on May 23rd, 2024. If there's no objection, I will take these three items together. Seeing none, we have the Seward Sanitary District, annual compensation, none. Kelsey Heaslip, it's a reappointment to serve a 3-year term expiring May 2027. Zoning Board of Appeals, annual compensation, $100 per meeting. Ernest Furr, reappointment to serve a 5-year term expiring 2029. The Winber Sioux Fire Protection District, annual compensation not to exceed $1,500 per year, plus 50% if ambulance service. Guy Cunningham, to serve a 3-year term expiring May 2027. Can I have a motion to approve these appointments? Motion by Mr. Penny, second by Ms. Goro. Discussion. Seeing none, are there any members present who are opposed to any of these appointments? Seeing no opposition, clerk, please record an affirmative vote for all those present. Finance Committee has already been taken care of. New business. Is there any new business to be brought before the board? Okay, seeing none. Announcements and communications. Clerk Gamow.
Thank you, Chairman. The items listed below were received as correspondence.
Okay, are there any announcements or communications from any board members this evening?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
Just a-
Mr. Thompson.
reminder on the next meeting date.
Is, next meeting Thursday, July 11th?
So the next meeting then would be July 25th.
Okay,
'cause
July
there's
25th.
no meeting July 11th.
Okay, and there's no committee meetings next week? correct? Okay, so everyone's got a vacation.
Yay.
Okay, with that, Mr. Webster, motion to adjourn? And